What'd you make of Joe Douglas being let go by the Jets this past week here?
I mean, I'm not surprised. I feel bad for Joe Douglas in some ways, right? There's just so many issues there with the Jets. And here's my first thing is the talent on the team, which the GM was responsible for. I mean, nobody in football would sit here and go, oh, the Jets don't have any talent. I mean, there's a lot of teams in football that go, oh, I'd trade the Jets roster for my roster right now.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
yes.
I'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
They got a lot of great stuff. The thing that hurt him, there's two things. His some of the bad coaching hires. You could say that, right, from the very start. Zach Wilson, he gets a defensive head coach, and Robert Saleh, first-time head coach, has no idea how to kind of bring along a young quarterback. Of course, you can get into you can get into the coaching stuff there, offensive coordinators through those times, all of that. And then you can also get into the Aaron Rodgers thing. And when they brought in Aaron Rodgers, they anointed him king of the organization. And it's very rarely king of the organization works. That doesn't work in football.
Yep.
Right? Tom Brady and the Patriots were awesome. Why? Because Bill Belichick was king and Brady was the general. And that's when football works. Right? As awesome as Peyton Manning was, the sheriff, right? He still wasn't the king. Tony Dungy was the fucking king. He was the sheriff. Mm-hmm. And the king at quarterback never has worked, never will. Even when Brady went to Tampa Bay, Bruce Arians was still king. He made everybody know that was the case. And even in the Chiefs right now, Patrick Mahomes is maybe the greatest thing we've ever fucking seen at quarterback. This king is still Andy Reid. And so those would be the mistakes I look at Joe Douglas that led to his demise.
So what's the order? It's king, sheriff, general. Where are general and sheriff in the whole situation?
I think general is ahead of sheriff in the pecking order.
It just depends. It depends. Like Peyton's from the South, so I went with sheriff. I don't know. It just seemed like it was better that way.
All right.
I don't know.
Makes sense.
I have no idea. Either way is very high ranking, and you should listen to them. That's my point.
All right.
Jets don't even have a Duke.
Yeah, you don't have a Duke. You don't even have a deputy. You guys got a crap. You got a traffic officer. That's what you got.
We can't even fire a 30-64 GM the right way. We can't even do that.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, you can't do a lot of things the right way. I know, Mikey.
Chris, is that going to be a good job, the Jets' job? Because there's weapons. You just don't have a quarterback, it seems. Because if you read the reports, Aaron's not going to be back next year. Woody didn't want him to be here this year. So what do you want that
I saw
job?
the article Mikey A. wrote about, Rodgers not throwing the ball down the field. And, man, it's good work, Mikey A. I mean, spot on.
Appreciate that.
Well,
sports.
He got it all from you. I mean.
It was great. And he did a deeper dive into it and got in the numbers even farther than me there.
Yeah.
And, again, to only throw the ball in the air over 10 yards 4 times last week, you should be, fired just because of that. The current NFL, you threw 4 passes over 10 yards against the shitty-ass Colts defense. Are you trying to win or are you protecting your numbers? That's, again, it goes back to that conversation. It's that's part of the problem. Again, when you play defense against the Jets, you just got to worry about runs and little short passes to the outside. That's all you got to worry about.
Chris, I'm interested in your thoughts on this. Am I crazy to be okay with Woody Johnson? Because last year, if you remember the criticism, hold on a sec. If you remember that criticism of, hey, we don't have a backup in case Aaron gets hurt. And Aaron got hurt, and they didn't have a backup, and we mocked them the entire season. So this year, they went out of their way to get Tyrod Taylor, who was a legitimate backup in the NFL. He has started many games in the NFL. And so Woody, who Jet fans criticize for not taking this thing seriously, not paying attention, not caring the way the fan base cares, he recognized that Aaron wasn't playing well, wasn't throwing the ball down the field, and had the audacity as the owner to walk into an office that he owns and say, hey, how about Tyrod Taylor instead of Aaron Rodgers? I'm okay with that, Chris. And the fact that Joe Douglas and Saleh were protecting a guy that has no business being protected by the Jets is absurd.
I hear you there. And, back to, the Jets, when people want to be, is that a good job? Yes, it's a good job. But there's going to be people out there who go, I don't know if I want to deal with Woody Johnson and the quarterback issue. That'll be a thing.
Right.
It will, whether that's fair or not. And to your point here, right, I think a lot of what you say there is right. But what I will push back against is, and what we've heard, the timing of that and him saying that was 10 days after I heard the whole Jets fan base like, have you ever seen a quarterback be able to read defenses like Aaron Rodgers? Oh my gosh, what he did against the Patriots. He was like, he called their defense before they called their defense. Oh my, it was like, how does he see it so quickly? Oh my gosh. And then 10 days later, you want to bench him? That's where I can't get behind that, okay?
I was one of them, by the way.
Well, right. So everybody was. I'm not trying to get on you.
So was I.
But if that conversation went down 2 weeks ago, I'd be like, oh, yeah, that's justifiable. The quarterback's sucky right now. Maybe they need to put somebody else in.
Right.
Right. I don't think you're crazy with that thought. I just don't think the timing of that thought and what Woody has said, we think he has said, whatever, through the rumorville, all that. I don't think that timing is correct.